They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being judgmental because you're trying things, and they just want you to settle and do the right thing. So get a good job, don't slack off. Wake up every morning, make a good impression on your boss. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and when you're making money, make sure you don't spend it too soon. Fuck that, I'll do what I wanna do. I got a different path from everyone, and that includes you. Who were you to tell me how to live life? In these times it feels like nobody's right, yeah. So I'ma figure out what else we succeed, and then invest all of my time into that and proceed. I need whatever the hell could make me happy, and I don't think you have a clue what could that be. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I think this life could be special if I get rid of the devils. They think that I am a rebel, I think they want me to settle. There's nobody on my level. They think that work is too stressful, I think that work is essential. The grind is all in your mental, and I don't think you understand what I'll go through just to be in control of my life soon. All the negativity, man, I'm immune. I don't really need a mask with all I've been through. I've been making changes for the ages. 5-10 year plans are contagious. I attack that shit, I'm tenacious. And if you ain't, get the fuck out of my way then. Got one life, I won't regret it. I will fight until I get it. I'll look back one day from heaven and say damn, I learned some lessons. And say damn, I have no questions. I had fun in every second, and the journey was a blessing, yeah. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that can make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing.
I let out an inaudible gasp. It was none other than Jungkook, the bad boy of the college. Jungkook is the type of guy that would give you a black eye if you look at him the wrong way. Millions variants of his life story has been whispered by the students, but I don't believe in any of their false notions. Jungkook, what? Where are you going, Levian? He laced the each word of my name, which made my heart fill with butterflies. My lips curled into a smirk. I could see into his mesmerizing eyes. Well, me and Jungkook share a dark secret, but we never told this to anyone. It was surely the thing which I needed the most. And why not when the guy is Jungkook? Though no one in the college knows about us, as I have asked him to stay quiet until the time I feel comfortable enough. He is keeping this to himself, and I know it's very difficult for him. Jungkook, girl, I have told you thousands of times that your one should not be on display. Then why they are posing? He said. When I was in haste, I replied stuttering as he was staring at me. Jungkook, hey, don't stutter like this. I don't mean to make you sad. He said, taking a loose strand of my hair behind my ear, which made me blush as I bit my lower lip. Jungkook spoke. The girl has made me crazy since the day I saw her for the first time. I still remember the first time I met with her. Flashback. I was walking down the hallway along with some of my friends. As a very little fuck to threaten my friend, that day I was feeling with anger. As I reached the locker, I bumped into someone small and soft and noticed it was a girl. She looked into my eyes and got scared all of a sudden. I had seen her for the first time in this college, so I could tell that she was a new transfer student at that time. She must have heard some false notions about me, that's why she was scared, Or maybe it was my appearance as a bad boy which made her scared. She whispered sorry to me in her melodious voice and then she bent down to grab the books from the floor. I don't know why, but for the first time in my life, I urged to help someone. I grabbed her hand to help her. When I touched her soft hand, I felt a spark and shivers run my arm and through my body. She looked up surprisingly, but when I looked in her eyes, I just couldn't look away. Everything felt like stopped, and it was only me and her. I must say, she was the most beautiful girl I had ever seen. Being the guy, I looked at her. That girl was none other than my girl, Liu, who raises my heartbeat like no one ever could. End of the flashback. Others spoke. When the class has been started, you said while your cheeks heating up. Jungkook, don't worry, the professor is my dad's friend. He won't say anything if we skip the classes for today, he said. With a teasing smile, you pushed him away and went to the classroom. I am sorry, my bun, but I have prepared for this test. You said to him while running. Jungkook chuckled at your cute behavior. While messing up his hair, he then went to the football stadium for playing the football match. Time skip in library. You were sitting in the quiet corner of the library, surrounded by stacks of books and your notes spread out on the table. Your midterms were gonna start soon, so you were preparing for it. It was a lunch time and your stomach was making weird noises, but you were focused on preparing for the exams. Just then you heard a familiar voice calling out your name loudly in the quiet library. Looking up, you saw your mom standing up at the entrance while holding a lunchbox in her hand. Mom, why you always come to the college empty stomach? She said loudly, catching the eyes of poor students who came in the library to study peacefully. Wine, shh, Mom, you are disturbing them. You said slowly while looking at your mom who sat on the chair in front of you. Mom, why you always forget to get the lunchbox with you? If you don't forget, I won't have to visit you in the college, dear. I had prepared it for you and it was at the corner of, but as usual you wouldn't have bothered to look around, she said, placing the box on the wooden table. Mayan, thanks for this, but Mom, I really didn't have to come all the way here, you said, smiling at her. Mom, oh, it didn't bother me, she said in a reassuring tone. Her gaze drifted over your shoulder and her eyes lit up. You turned following your mom's gaze and immediately felt your heartbeat raise as you saw Jungkook smiling at your mom. Jungkook walked over, giving you a sly grin before giving your mom a polite nod. Jungkook, hello auntie, he greeted her, turning his deep voice into a respectful. Your mom smiled back, looking at him up and down. Wine. Mom, he's my classmate, Jungkook, you lied, forcing a smile at him as he poked his inner cheeks. Jungkook, oh, I'm her classmate only. He muttered to himself. Mom, oh, he's handsome, Ian dear, she said with a smile. You felt your cheeks flushed and your face started to heat up as your mom gave you a wink. She was teasing you as she always did. Wine, please, Mom, stop, you whispered, which made Jungkook smirk. Mom, I was just saying, dear, I will go now, just eat your lunch and make sure you got some fresh air too. Studying too much is good, she said, patting your tired shoulder. You nodded as she said you both a goodbye and then she left for the house. Jungkook waited until your mom disappeared. He leaned towards you and then sitting down on the chair beside you, he smiled at you. Jungkook, so your mom thinks I am handsome, He teased, raising an eyebrow. Stop, you murmured as your cheeks turned red. You looked down, unable to meet his eyes. Jungkook, oh come on, don't be shy. I saw that blush on your pretty cheeks, he whispered teasingly near your ear. A shy smile tugging at the corners of your mouth. Suddenly your stomach grumbled, which was noticed by Jungkook. Jungkook, open the lunchbox and start to eat it right now, he added in his deep voice. Why like this? You asked. Jungkook, why not? He replied, making you gulp down. Pulling the sandwich out of the lunchbox, you took a bite and chewed slowly, finally satisfied as you had not eaten anything since the morning. Jungkook ate slowly. The sandwich is not going anywhere, he said as he saw you making bites of sandwich and gulping it down. You smiled shyly and then you held another sandwich out to Jungkook. Ryan, do you want some? You offered him. Jungkook just shook his head and watched in amusement as you continued to scarf down your food like you had not eaten anything since the week. All of a sudden, the bell rang, indicating that it was time for the next class. Jungkook, we both have the same class. Finally, let's go, he said as you nodded, heading down to the classroom. In the classroom, professor, students, your midterms are gonna start soon. I want you to be serious at this point and focus on your studies, he said to all the students who were eagerly listening to him, except Jungkook. While the professor was explaining the topic to the class, Jungkook dragged your chair closer. Your eyes whitened as you looked at him with your bright red tomato face. Professor, Miss Ryan, would you mind if I ask you to solve this question for me? He said, looking at you. You nodded and tried to get up, but Jungkook held your hand. Ryan, cook. Everyone's watching. You said, trying to release. Professor, what's going on there? And Jungkook, he said. Ryan, cook, what happened to you all of a sudden? Why you are behaving so odd? You asked, frowning at him. Jungkook, I just can't hide it anymore. I want everyone to know about you and me. I just can't keep this to myself anymore, he said in his deep voice. Through his voice, you could tell that he was serious. Why, okay, we will announce, but please, not now. Professor Kang is watching, you said, looking at him with your pleading voice. Jungkook, no, I will announce this in front of him. I just needed your permission. Now, as I get it, I will tell him. Jungkook was right, cause Professor Kang always pointed you out. Mine, but you were cut off as he got up from the chair. Grabbing your hand, he walked to Professor Kang. Standing next to him, you on the other side of him, he looked around before giving the professor a glare. Jungkook, this is girly Mayan. So you guys stay away from her. I just don't want anyone present here to look at Mayan. And remember, it's the last warning, he said in a loud voice, who averted his gaze to the other side. The whole class got shocked, but they had to nod their heads in an agreement. Smiling at you, he made you sit back on your chair. You are quite happy that you won't have to hide this anymore. Time skipped. The bell rang, indicating that college was over. Reaching the car, Jungkook made you sit inside while he sat himself on the driver's seat. Jungkook, why let's go to my house today? We will have a great fun, he said. Ryan, no, I didn't have chance to study as much I should have. The midterms are just around the corner and still I have not prepared for them. You said, trying to ignore Jungkook. Lighten up, he murmured. You blushed, which made him bit his lower lips as he started the engine. Heading towards your house as he wanted you to score good marks. Leaving you at your place, he headed towards his house, which was half an hour away from his house. The next morning at college, you were walking in the ground to get some fresh air so your mind can function properly. Suddenly, you felt a hand on your shoulder which made your cheeks turn red. Why, and so you came, you asked without looking back as you knew whom the hand belonged to. Jungkook, you caught me again, he said, walking next to you. You smiled, but suddenly a small gas left your mouth. Jungkook took you to the empty bed. Sitting on it, he smiled at you. Ryan, This is beautiful. Jungkook, why not? He asked, standing up as he looked at you frowned. Why? Because there is a new history professor coming who will take our class from now on. I heard the girls calling him strict. They were saying that he was not like Professor Mingyu who will let the students skip the classes and roam around here and there. He is very strict and he can give detention to the poor students in blink of an eye. I don't want any detention, especially when midterms are gonna start. You said making up out at him. Jungkook, no one can give you a detention. Okay, by the way, what else you heard about the new professor? He asked the last sentence in a bit serious tone. By his tone, you could understand that he was getting jail, which made you quite blessed. When they say he's tall, handsome, and good looking, you reply with a trend of your hair. Jungkook, oh, is that so? What the others say doesn't matter to me. But what does matter to me is your thoughts about him, princess, he said. When I have not seen him yet. How would I know? You gave him a teasing smile. Jungkook parted his lips to say something, but you rushed to the classroom. Reaching the classroom, you sat on the chair beside Tina, who is your friend. After a few minutes, Jungkook also came in as he looked around to search for you. Seeing you sitting on the last bench talking and giggling to your friend, he approached you and sat on the seat beside you. Jungkook had not seen the new professor. It was his first time that he was trying to act calm in front of you, but deep down he was burning with anger. Today you decided to test that jealousy by calling the new professor handsome in front of him. Jungkook's eyes were stuck on the door, eagerly awaiting the arrival of new history professor, as he wanted to see whom everyone was calling handsome and who was actually guy. The classroom door swung open and you spotted a tall, well-dressed man entering in the classroom. He smiled, looking at around Miss Professor Shin's students. I am your new professor. From now on, I will teach you history subject. You smiled, looking at Jungkook, who was seeing the new professor under his breath. Why, he's handsome, don't you think? You whispered loud enough that Jungkook could hear it clearly. Jungkook's face hardened while his knuckles turned white as he gripped the edge of the desk. Your compliment for the new professor was making him. He was not going to just sit there like a silent spectator and let you compliment him. Getting up from the chair, he looked at you before you could process what was happening. Professor Shin, hey, what is going on? He said loudly, looking at both of you in a disbelief. Jungkook, you continue, Professor. He said, making your breath hitch in your throat. Locking the door, he stared at you. Jungkook, what was that? He said. You remained quiet, only to add fuel in the fire. Ryan, I'm sorry, I was teasing you, you murmured, but there was no use opening the door to one of the bathrooms. Jungkook, calling that professor handsome right in front of me, do you think I'm okay with that? He asked. Before you could utter some words, he looked at you. After some time, Ryan, cook, you said. Jungkook, not again, he said, making you look at him in a shock.